Good morning and happy full moon in Leo to everybody. I'm here in cold Tennessee, and yeah, this is an amazing moon. I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed writing about it, and I am excited to share what it is that I have uncovered as I've studied it for the last few days. So, um, It is the actual moon, the exact moment happens at 5:09 p.m. tonight, and I am currently recording this near 11 o'clock in the morning. It's been, yeah, it's been an interesting day of awakenings and understandings and just contemplation over the last few days, and so I'm excited to share. Let's see, I'm going to share my screen and we'll pull up the chart and begin. All right, and there we go. So yes, like I said, today, February 1st at 5:09 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. This is what the way the moon looks, and you'll just adjust it for wherever you are in the world, or if you want to superimpose your own birth chart on it and see how all of these alignments are affecting you, you can do that. And if you want to have help with that, reach out to me. I will link in the comments below my website and also my Substack report, which will be a very more detailed report than I'm going to be giving today. So let's start. We have this giant stellium here in Aquarius, and this stellium, these planets are going to be riding together for some time. Um, I've looked ahead a little bit, and there'll be another stellium, as you can see, because Saturn and the North Node will be in Pisces. All of these inner planets are going to be moving into Pisces and then into Aries. I think I mentioned on my last transmission that I was listening to Steve Judd, and he said that when all of these planets move into Aries, there will be seven planets in Aries, and that it will be a the first time that he's ever seen that, and he's been an astrologer for some time. But for me, yeah, it's an interesting time. So let me start off by talking about the moon because we're looking at a full moon. And when we're looking at a full moon, the moon over here exactly in opposition at 13 degrees and 3 minutes, exactly in opposition to the sun. This is a full moon. And the moon in Leo, the moon is our inner sense of self. It's our ego. It's like where we feel secure inside our bodies, in ourselves. And the development of the moon happens from repetitive action. What happens all the time? We feel safe, we know what's going to happen, and we feel secure. It's when things are new that we are insecure. We don't know what's going to happen next. And a lot of us in this Aquarian time, we're watching out of our eyeballs this crazy time, and we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, astrologers are going back, and we can say the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, the United States started. So, and we had revolution, the Revolutionary War took place, the French Revolution took place, and so when I look at it at my eyeballs, I can feel the energy, I can see the energy of revolution. I mean, here in the United States, we are distraught with what's happening and unsure what to do, etc. Sorry, I'm getting into the politics, but I can't help it. Back to the moon. So we're insecure. But what's happening here is this sense of security in ourselves, who we are. Who am I? And each of us are going through this. And we began this cycle last July with the new moon in Leo, where we were beginning a new cycle in discovering who we were, our authenticity. And so I know for myself, as I was contemplating this moon and thinking back, I know for myself that I experience things, in a new moon, you're going to do new things. I experienced things since July that I have never experienced, but I was coming from a place of authenticity. And as I've gotten used to it, I'm really developing this authentic self. And so over the last several months, we've all been developing this new self. We're evolving our new self forward. And so we've come to this place where the moon is now opposing the sun. We can see who we're becoming. Our authentic self is like the being that we were when we were first born into the world. And you know that when we were children, that we have been, corralled into behaving in a very particular way. Our parents and our family and our schools, they want us to be accepted into the societal norm. So we get pushed and shaped into this being. But what happens during that time is that we lose contact with who we truly are. These times are to really reconnect with that inner self. There's a lot of talk you hear about, doing inner work, inner child work, digging up what's been suppressed so that we can experience this true self. The rest of this energy of Leo is about like just being authentic, being true, not trying to say things that would be accepted by the outside, but just blurting out what is truly coming from inside. It's about creativity. This is where the art comes from, or your music, or when you're singing or drawing a picture, you're expressing what's truly within and bringing it outside so that it can be seen. Now, this would be the difference of what the sun is. The sun is taking that inner expression and shining it into the world. So, what we have here is this opposition between the sun and the moon, where we've been developing this true self, and now we want to integrate this sun, this shining that self into the world. This sun moon conjunction, uh, it's an inner expression that is expressed out into the world so that we can see it and others can see it. So that's where we are. We're all about being authentic and expressing our uniqueness into the world because we are all unique beings. We all have different talents and perspectives and beliefs and yeah, we're all different. And we have been over a long time we've been corralled, I'll use that word, into having this being as similar as we can, because, we really are different. Okay, so let's go into this. Where's my cursor? I've lost it. There it is. This whole stellium makes me want to start with Pluto because with evolutionary astrology, we always begin with Pluto. It's the bottom line. Pluto and the nodes tell us what is happening. And so Pluto being in Aquarius, it's pretty close to where it was when it moved into its retrograde position last May. It's returned back to that spot. I think it's just a few minutes off, if I remember correctly. We recently had a Mars and Pluto conjunction, and so Pluto is like the soul. It is It is the direction of evolution. It's the unconscious desires of the soul, what we came into experience. So everybody has Pluto in their chart. With evolutionary astrology, um, this is the most important. This is like the bottom line of what we come in for. And so this is the lens that I look at a chart through. A chart is both personal and collective. That there really isn't any difference between the two things. You know, we it's all just one, and our individuals are just a fractal of the whole. So we can look at it from any side. This could be a person as a birth chart. Somebody born today will have this birth chart, in fact, especially if they're born at 509. But this is the bottom line, and the bottom line is Aquarius. Aquarius is the energy to break free from any kind of limitations. So the limitations would be the Capricorn. It's a structure. So everything has structure. You know, we all have structure. We have a skeleton in us. We have the skin that holds everything in together. You know, there's the bark of the tree is also the structure, the external structure of the tree. Everything has structure. And within the structure is the energy. It's really the moon energy, this emotional realm. And so structure is for protection. Let's start by saying that. However, like an analogy would be like a hermit crab. When it moves into a new shell, it can grow in there for a period. It's roomy, it can grow. It is its protection of its tiny, gushy body. And then it starts to expand and grow and eat and get bigger. And eventually that shell becomes too small. This is what happens also in our societal norms, our society, the way that we live, the structure is put in place so that we can all live and be safe. But what's happened is we've grown. There are so many people now, and the structure in the society that we live in is becoming too tight. And so Aquarius is the energy to break free from that structure so that we can transform and create a new structure, move beyond. So this stellium here is helping us, all of us, to move beyond a structure. Now, for those that are following me for some time, and anybody can go back and look at my new moon in Capricorn, we were beginning a brand new structure and brand new sense of self. And the reason is because we've outgrown who we were in the past, and we do this regularly. We are constantly growing and changing. And um and so back to my analogy with the hermit crab is that we are now moving beyond this structure. This new moon in Capricorn, like I'm saying, is we have to begin a new structure. And here we are now where all these planets are helping us break out of the structure that we've been living in. And the moon is integrating this self. Who are we outside of this old structure? And it's a scary time. I mean, it's it's like we're not even really sure who we are. So Pluto comes in and says the bottom line is to break free from any kind of constraints that we've had before so that we can individuate, we can become our true selves. The opposite of Pluto is Leo. I mean, of Aquarius is Leo. And so the polarity point is really at 3 degrees, 43 minutes, which is conjunct this new moon, this full moon. And so really what's happening is we're taking this new step to become our true selves. And that is the bottom line of what we're doing here. So I called my moon report, let your freak flag fly. Like, just be unabashedly you and learn to love that particular part of ourselves. Leo is the heart. Leo is about love and just pure creativity and expression that comes right out of the heart. It's not contained in any kind of structure. It just is pure creativity. And it's love. It's the energy of love. It's the energy of, yeah, adoration. And so this is the journey that we are experiencing for the next, I think, 18 more years is learning to love ourselves and who we are. This is the moon in Leo. Now, Mars just recently made a conjunction. Mars is the way that Pluto actions itself. I like to say that the soul doesn't actually have hands and feet, but Mars are the hands and the feet of the soul. And so, in fact, before Pluto was discovered, Mars was the ruler of Scorpio. Now Pluto is. And so Mars is saying we're going to act in a very individuated way. And this was a new cycle. This is a cycle that will happen over the next 2 years. So, because this conjunction is behind the sun, what it's saying is, in order for us to express our authenticity, the sun, right? Another, to express that true self, we had to really move into this self-love and really act from this place of self-love and coming from the heart. And that is what is helping the sun to shine its light. Now, on the other side of the sun, we have Mercury and Venus. Now, Mercury and Venus have all have passed the sun. Um, really, everybody has been in the sun, but the sun moves faster than Mars, so it goes past it. Mercury and Venus move faster than the sun, so they're going to move ahead of the sun. And so everybody's been through the sun to really burn away. There's been lots of Cazimis. We're burning away the past and really brandishing ourselves and beginning anew. Individuality. So Mercury is the thought process. It's how we think. It's the perspective that we have. And so when we come from our own perspective of reality, we are seeing life and everything in a very unique way. And with Venus, it's about how we value ourselves and how we value our other people and how we relate to the external world, how we relate to ourselves. And it's in a unique way. We have to break free from the way that we've been conditioned, Capricorn, to behave and into this very new self. And this is all new phase to the sun. So we're seeing our perspective is anew. The values that we have are new. And this entire stellium is really being integrated into this true self that we are, that is full of love when we are not conditioned. Now, one of the things that I want to say about this, because I don't want to come off as like everything is bad about our society. I've actually had this recent epiphany about this South Node in Virgo, where I have been writing about it and talking about it as seeing the world through the eyes of separation, which I do believe that that is true. But I also have recently understood that it's important to be able to see ourselves as separate, because what that does is give us experience. This being able to understand the reality of what happens when we act as complete separation. So we have all these separate countries, we see each other as separate. I mean, it was necessary for humanity to experience this, but because if we don't actually know, then it's just an idea. This process of seeing ourselves as separate has been an experience that we'll carry with us for eternity. So the North Node in Pisces is the opposite. It's the oneness. It's as seeing ourselves as one complete whole. And these two energies are being integrated. We're not going to get rid of the past. We're going to remember the past, but we are going to evolve our wholeness. And bringing these two pieces together is, yes, we are all part of this one universe, this one universe, but we're also these separate fractals within the universe. And so this is part of the nodal shift, and we are experiencing a shift. I'm going to step out of this chart here just to talk about this shift that's happening, because in about 16 days, we're going to have the new moon in Aquarius, and it is an eclipse, and it is also the beginning of the fire horse, the Chinese New Year. And so this fire horse is really going to, I have the image of this horse just running and flames coming out of it. And it's like we have this drive and this power to really express our new self like children, Moon and Leo. We can express like children, but we have this gnosis, this experience and understanding knowledge about what happens when we harm each other. So I think it's I think it's a really good experience to be able to align with this heart sense, this um and to be able to um how do I want to describe it? To be able to see ourselves as these loving beings just before everything is going to shift, which is going to happen very soon. So Neptune has moved into Aries. This is the transcendence of this old self. This is where we are. It also is a dissolving. I mean, is dissolving this old self, but also in the dissolving, we're transcending. We are becoming these new beings, and we where we have yeah, we all come from this energy of oneness. And with this new shift in reality, which Mercury is saying, yes, we are shifting in reality if we all take the time to pull into our own perspectives, which, I mean, meditation, contemplation, turning off the television for a little while and just determining, trying to connect with what we all really think instead of having the external world tell us what to think, I think is valuable. Um, Saturn here is crystallizing this oneness energy, this energy. And here on the 17th, the 20th of February, Saturn will align in an exact conjunction with Aries and with Neptune in Aries at 0 degrees 45 minutes. That is something that hasn't happened in thousands of years. This is the shift. It's like a doorway into a whole new perspective of reality. And because we are all in this oneness, we all have the ability to create the world that we want to see. Now, believing that, you know, you really have to believe it to see it. And to see it, you have to believe it. And this is this energy of Jupiter over here. Um, Also, the moon is in the second decan of Leo. The second decan of Leo is Sagittarius. So it's about believing in ourselves and believing that I mean, we can create what it is that we want to create. We can continue to create what it is that we've been living through, and we all get the choice. Or we can raise our vibration and we can create something that's really very different. Chiron says we're healing the wound that has kept us from being the true being that we are. And um, yes, we're breaking the pattern here with Uranus that says that we are breaking the pattern that is associated with how we have survived in the old paradigm. We have the possibility to survive differently. And this is square to this. This is a third quarter square. Third quarter square is when you break free from the beliefs of the status quo and really follow our own beliefs. And if we each do that, we create a collective shift. And I think that this is what's happening. And um, but we can't be the collective until we each pull into our individual self. The collective is the collection of our individuality. And so as we each bring in this, begin to shine our light. In my moon report, I saw the analogy as I was writing, like when we shine our light, we're all like stars in the sky. When you shine your light of who you truly are into the external world, it's like the stars in the night sky. And it's beautiful and it's brilliant and true. It's an amazing thing. But if we don't, if are maintain this fear and we continue to hide in this reality that is constricting us and we don't get to shine that true light, what we will look up to is see blackness and the darkness. And so that's what I want to leave you all with today. Um, yeah, amazing times. So between now and uh, 2 weeks from now, where we begin the new moon, we have practice. Well, we have the opportunity to practice and put into the world our true self. So wherever you can in this next 2 weeks, become just as authentic. Don't allow your mm, external vision to say, "Oh, I shouldn't say this," or "I shouldn't be this way." Just be authentically you and see what happens. See what happens. I know we've all at least practiced it somewhat since July. Now that we can see what it is that we've been practicing, let's do it consciously. Let's put it out there and see what happens. And then in 2 weeks, we will really begin this new energy of individuation because more of us will be shining that light. And the more of us that shine that light, we're going to take off with the fire horse and really step through this new paradigm. So I hope that this reached you all. I'm feeling excited by this moon, and I'm feeling excited to be my authentic self. and really work on that over these next 2 weeks. And I share this perspective with you so perhaps you can find your own authenticity and begin to do the same. I'm going to link my Substack uh, link in the bottom in the comments so that you can read my moon report. It is very much more in depth. I described all the alignments, including this huge amount of inconjuncts, which really, I'll just say one more thing about it, is that it creates this blind spots. We actually can't see what's going on. But I think we'll work through these. These inconjuncts require internal analysis. We can't get our analysis from outside. We just have to contemplate. So meditate, contemplate, sit in a quiet room and think about things. Um, and things will become clear from the inside out. So I'm going to link my Substack report because it is more detailed, and then you can have a hard copy. And then I will also link my website in the comments below. So in case anybody would like to have a little bit of help understanding what their journey is and how these alignments are helping you to realize your journey and step into the whole reason that you came to the planet, please reach out to me and we'll schedule a time so that I can look at your chart. I want to thank you all for listening. Happy new moon in Leo and lots of love coming from the heart.